A full disclosure here from the beginning. When I went to the Oak City Comic Con, I pretty much went there just with Funko Pops on the brain. I really wasn't going to focus on comic books because, I'm getting back into reading comics, but I'm not like deep into reading them, so I definitely wasn't going to look for comics while I was there or, any back issues, anything like that. I'm just not that deep into it. And I really didn't even think that much about the artists being there. But I was pretty impressed by the art that I saw, and I did get to speak to just a few artists. I wish I had the opportunity to speak to more, but there were a lot of times when artists were like actually doing some artwork on the show floor, actually doing artwork for people, or they were speaking to a lot of people. They had, a lot of people crowded around their table. So yeah, I only spoke to a couple of artists, but I was pretty impressed with what I saw. So that's what I'm going to share with you in this video. I can't talk about the artists that were featured at Oak City Comic Con without giving some props to Chris Wharton, who did work to promote the Comic Con. Okay, you see that? That's his name there along with this artwork here, and then also his name was on this pamphlet here that you could pick up at the Comic Con. And it actually gives a little information about him here on the inside. Okay, it says Chris Wharton, an illustrator working full-time creating cartoons, comics, children's books, game art. Wharton currently produces the amazing web comics Giant and Eye of Envy. So I hopped online and I went looking for some information about Chris Wharton. I didn't actually meet him while I was there, but I did manage to track down some of his artwork here. And you see that he has some prints in full color and then some prints in black and white, a very cartoonish style, but it's a really good looking style. I really like his style that he has here. And if you're interested in any of his work, you can actually check him out. He has prints available on this website here at the top right, chriswharton.storeenvy.com. And be careful when you type in the address. This is a mistake I made. I put in 2 E's, but they actually just have 1 E in there for Store Envy. And then he also has his own website and it says now online here on the left hand side at salamander.studio. That's basically where he kind of brings all of his work together, his print work, and then also he actually links, I think, some of his YouTube videos there as well. And you can do a search for him on YouTube, Chris Wharton, or there's the direct address on the screen as well, but it's probably just easier to search out his name. And you can just check out and see what's going on with that particular artist. And by the way, on his YouTube channel, I've noticed I did check out 2 videos real quick. He basically does time-lapse drawings, and then he'll kind of, on some of the videos, he'll talk about his process with the artwork, including the artwork that he did for the Oak City Comic Con. There actually is a video in which he breaks down his whole process. It's pretty interesting, especially if you're an artist. You may want to check that out. Here's another artist that I met. I actually got a chance to speak to him a little bit. Just goes by the name Frankie. And you see right away how striking his artwork is. The color palette. And you can see that something's kind of going on there with his artwork. It looks like it's on glass. And I'm not sure exactly if it is just regular glass or what he uses there. But yeah, it's not your typical artwork. You notice there, if you look above his shoulder, above his right shoulder there, it says free 3D glasses. That is because his work is 3D. Here's this information if you want to check out his artwork. You could also buy some of his prints. He actually does have prints available because his the artwork that he had up there, some of it does get a little pricey, but obviously somebody puts a lot of work into something, you expect to pay a fair amount for it. But he does have prints of his work, and they do work with 3D as well. And also his email account is there. I actually emailed him as I was preparing for this video, and he will contact you back if you want to find out some more about his work. If you want to get some prints, he'll give you a link and everything. So yeah, his work is really cool. Here on the left hand side, this is one print that I really would like to get called The Doctor Is Here. You see the woman's face, but then you also see that figure there in the middle, a man standing, looks like in a doorway. And if you look on the left hand side, there's something else going there. You look closely, you'll see another face going on there, and that's just something that seems typical of his work, that when you really take a good look at it, you're going to see a lot more than you saw the first time. And then there's another piece of his work there on the right hand side as well. And I'm sorry about the picture quality. I know these could be better, but I mean, this is pretty much the best I could do at the time. But look at his work in person. That's what you need to do. Get some of his prints, or at least one of his prints. Show him some support, because this is pretty incredible work. This is another piece that I like, and this is on the website called Tuskegee, and obviously influenced by the Tuskegee Airmen. This is a quote pulled directly from the site. It says, "Adventure, science fiction, comic books, and movies with 3D glasses. As an artist, I look to the past, incorporate it into the present while pulling viewers into my 3D resin paintings." Information pulled from his site. I'm going to read this off quickly. It says, "By combining the technologies of photo editing software and 3D chroma-depth glasses, images are captured, trapped like bugs in amber, with clear resin and paint. They escape the confines of the 2D surface. I create artwork that no one else is doing right now." And let me stress that part again. He says no one else is doing this right now. I think that's really cool that I was able to meet such a unique artist in person. Okay, but he calls this 3D resonance painting. Okay, and it continues here. "When looking at my paintings, the physical layering of the paint off the canvas creates movements as you walk by. Once you place chroma-depth 3D glasses on, the effect is intensified. Reds, yellows, and oranges are pulled forward. Cooler blues, purples, and green recede. The glasses make my artwork take on another life. The images resonate off the wall towards the viewer." And I can attest to that. When you look at his artwork through the 3D glasses, it's pretty incredible. It really draws you in. This is the business card I picked up while I was at Frankie's booth. It has his information on the back, which you've already seen. But what's really cool here is, of course, it has an example of his artwork on it. And this really shows that the more you look at his artwork, the more that you see. When I first looked at it right away, of course, I noticed the eye there. It looks like a woman's eye, from the eyelashes there and everything. And then you can see here another face going on, a man's face, because just look at the wrinkles and everything going over there, and it looks like there's some facial hair. And then you look at it some more, and then you realize there's a silhouette of a person over here. So yeah, that's a really cool effect. The more that you look at his artwork, it's just like the more you see, it just goes deeper and deeper. And of course, I think that's only makes sense since his work is in 3D. And I know that his prints are legitimate, because when I got home, I still had a pair of 3D glasses. He actually let me keep these from the booth. He had some of these so you could look at his artwork. And when I looked at his business card, and of course this won't work on camera, but when I actually look through these and I look at his business card, even the business card has the 3D effect. So that is really cool. I'm definitely looking forward to getting a couple of his prints. Can't wait to have them up on the wall and actually make use of the 3D glasses to check them out. And of course, anybody that comes to visit me, they're going to have to put those glasses on to get a look at that work. The artist that I was able to speak to, okay, his artwork is up under the name Spider Stop Shop, and he refers to himself here as the original splatter grunge artist, which is a pretty precise way to describe his artwork. Okay, and here is the artist himself. His name is Joseph Bayer. Okay, again, Spider Stop Shop if you're looking for him online. Okay, you see here also he's with storeenvy.com, although I did check the website right before I recorded this video, and for some reason his work wasn't showing. I did message him on Facebook. I haven't heard back from him yet, so not quite sure what's going on there. But hopefully his work will be available again soon, because it's some pretty incredible work. You see he's on there on Instagram, and you can email him as well. If you look on the left hand side, you'll see that he does have his artwork in different forms. I know that he had prints available and also those bookmarks there. And some of his artwork is also on like metal sheets, which I'm really not sure how you would display those. I guess you could just like lean them up against something. I'm not sure exactly how those are intended to be displayed, but they're pretty cool as well. Here's the business card that I picked up from his booth. And again, I don't know what's going on with the store right now, but hopefully that'll be taken care of soon. And I did send him a message. Like I said, I'm waiting, just waiting to hear a response. Hopefully I will hear back soon. And you know, if I find out what's going on, where you can find his work somewhere else online, then I will update that in the description. But I do want to go ahead and show you what I picked up. And I really didn't even plan to get art while I was there, but you see why I had to spend the money. And this print here was only, I believe, $10, so definitely worth it. And he signed it for me there. So this is still in the plastic right now, obviously to protect it until I get a frame, because this deserves to go in a frame. In fact, you know, any of the work that I get from these artists is definitely going in a frame. And I actually did take he allowed me to take a picture of him holding this piece here as well. So I do have that picture of him with this artwork. And then I may have mentioned before on this channel, but I can't remember for sure, but I'm a huge fan of Harley Quinn, so of course I had to get something representing that character, and just take a look at that. You know, this is definitely going in a frame. And then again, also here, it is signed by the artist. I love that artwork. I can't wait to have it on my wall so I can see it all the time. And like I said, there's just something about his work where it's on point. You could tell who the character is, yet it has that splatter effect, that grunge effect to it. And I like the ha-ha-ha's going on there, of course, reminiscent of the Joker. So that is a great piece of art. Really love this. Definitely going to get some more. This is a piece of artwork that my friend picked up. He got this Iron Man print. And if I had a little more cash on me, he had a really amazing Captain America print as well that I still want to get. I'm really waiting for that to come back up on the website, because I know it was available on the website. Here's another example of his artwork, and since I couldn't go directly to the website where his prints are sold, I did pull this from his Facebook page. You see this Injustice painting going on here. Really good representations of the characters. Some more examples here. That Bane is pretty incredible. And then there's the artist himself next to a Deadpool painting. And then that Joker again, very incredible. Just really good work. And I don't want you to think that he limits himself to comic book characters. Here you see some other characters that he's done here. I definitely do like that Darkwing Duck. I remember that character so well from when I was young. Moving on here to the next artist. I also met this artist here named Sherman J Webster. He's an artist and a writer that does his own comic series. You see it also says there, illustrator, graphic designer there on the right hand side. Here is issue number 1 of his comic Vermilion Vigilante, which I picked up for only $5. He was just selling it for $5, and of course he did sign it as well. And I like that he put the year on there as well. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. You know, when people do an autograph, to have the date on there, that's really a good idea. And then also, I got this poster, same artwork there, and again he signed this as well. Yeah, so that's pretty cool there, and he has continued on working with this series. So here you see the covers for issue number 2 and issue number 3 of his comic. That's up to the point where he is right now. He told me himself he's up to issue number 3 in the series. Not really sure how long he intends to keep the series going, but I just think it's pretty cool, especially for a black guy in this day and age, to be able to, you know, put together his own comic and be open with it. Because I know when I was a kid, I mean, again, especially being a black guy, it was tough if you were into things that were considered nerdy or geeky. But boy, how times have changed. Now it's almost kind of lame if you're not into comics and these other things, cosplay and all those sorts of things. So it's really good to see how things have changed, and that's why it was really a pleasure to actually get a chance to speak to this artist. Here's another artist I met. He was really busy at the time. You could see him there. He's actually working on a drawing. In fact, somebody came and walked by and actually asked him if he was still doing the drawing. So I guess he's doing it for that particular person. But his name here is Javier Cruz Winnick. Like I said, I didn't really get a chance to speak to him. I didn't want to disturb his work there. But here is his information. You can go to thecurve.com to check out his blogs. He has blogs going on about his art process and everything. And then also he talks about his series as well, A Reason to Smile. I'm saying series, but I think it's up to just 2 books right now, and it is a children's book. So moving that information out of the way, here is a better look at the cover for Volume 2. I pulled this from one of his blogs. It says the story is about a little girl, Louisa, who is a walking silver lining. She loves to people watch and enjoy her city, and every once in a while she gets to help people out. Like most problems, they don't go away, but they find an easier way to handle them by working together. I also pulled some more examples of his artwork. Again, look there in the center, Darkwing Duck. I guess Darkwing Duck is on a lot of people's minds right now. I guess that means they need to bring him back. But he has some other good artwork here as well. Over there on the left, you see some DC characters. And then Steve Universe or Steven Universe. I can't remember. I'm sorry. I don't follow that series. And then also some Nintendo characters down there. So he has a really good cartoony art style. And his series seems like it really would be good for kids. I did pick up a book and sort of flip through it. But again, Comic Cons, boy, does money go quickly. I really wanted to purchase so much more while I was there. But, I'm just going to have to make some purchases later on via the, online. This artist here, he does artwork for The Walking Dead, and he was selling these prints. These are really amazing prints. The one he's holding, I think that one's cool, but if you look down there on the table, the one that's basically in the center, that's the one I really would have loved to have if I had some more cash on me to pick it up at the time. And this artist, unfortunately, I didn't catch his name. I wanted to go back and speak to him again because I was trying to grab a pen out. He told me his name and I was trying to write his name down, and then I turned around and I totally got distracted by a cosplayer. So when I came back by the table, I didn't see him there. I guess he had walked off somewhere or something. So I'm really, sorry about that. If anybody knows this artist, please, let me know. But the prints that he was selling, he was signing them, and also they were signed by Greg Nicotero. And I hope you all know Greg Nicotero. He basically does makeup effects and things like that. He's very big on The Walking Dead, and he's done a lot of movie work throughout the years. Anybody that's a big fan of horror movies should definitely know or be familiar with Greg Nicotero. And by the way, please don't be mad at me before getting distracted, because let me show you here. Yeah, this is the cosplayer that I turned around and saw as I was trying to write down this artist's name. So I had to grab a picture of that is an amazing costume, and that's why I got distracted. But I do kind of feel bad about that I didn't get this artist's name down. These people here, they are not artists, but I felt like I wanted to, mention them as well because they were really cool. For one thing, I love their costumes. And a female Wolverine, that was really cool of her to, rock that costume. And you can kind of see back there it says Kid Lit Drink Night, which I had no idea what in the world that meant at first. But if you look here at the table, of course, these are adults that are into kid literature. And by the way, they also had a candy bowl there, which I love some chocolate. So yeah, that was cool as well. They were giving out some candy. But these are adults that are into children's literature, and they actually get together. I know there's a podcast that's involved. And this is something that goes on across the country, apparently, because I did see, when I looked it up online, I saw events going on in different cities throughout the country. but it is adults, getting together, having a good time with children's literature. And here's a quote that I pulled from online. It says, since February 2012, this group of Boston area librarians, teachers, authors, illustrators, publishers, agents, booksellers, and other friends of young adult children's literature have been getting together every couple of months to talk, drink, share ARCs, I'm not sure how to say that, and raise money for kid-lit causes, and drink. And it says, hey, just because we read books written for kids doesn't mean we are grown-ups, right? And I definitely agree with them. So, again, even though it says Boston here, apparently this is something that goes on in many different places throughout the country. So if you're interested in that at all, just follow up on it. Check it out online. This is the Twitter account for Kid Lit Drink Night. Okay, so that's it. I know this video ran longer than I thought it would, but I really wanted to give a shout out to the artist that I was able to speak to. Wish I got to speak to even more, but I do look forward to even more Comic-Con experiences. And now I know it won't just be about, the Funko Pops. I got to check out some more artwork as well and get these plain walls in my house decorated with some pretty impressive artwork. But again, thank you all for watching.